I never pass up an opportunity for Greg Kelly to be miserable. And here he is. This is Greg Kelly. I don't know what the fuck. This is Greg Kelly. Sleepy Joe is full of nothing but empty threats. So he's talking about America supporting Israel, which apparently is an empty threat.
So America's leader is out to lunch, right? And that's
no, he's working.
Unfortunate in this moment of crisis. But the Israelis have Benjamin Netanyahu.
Right, who thinks Trump is a loser and lost like the loser that he is.
And I believe he is the man for this moment.
Well, that's weird because he doesn't think Trump won the 2020 election, and he thinks Trump is a loser, and he was one of the first international leaders to come out and say Trump lost.
There's a lot of controversy around him, but he is tough, he is smart, he's experienced.
If he was tough and smart, then why did they get through?
He's had all the jobs basically you can have in the Israeli government.
He's had all the jaws.
He's had all the jobs basically you can have.
Yes, he's had Jaws 1, Jaws 2, Jaws 3D, Jaws 4, The Reckoning. Jaws gets a job at a gas station in Iowa and eats people who come in and can't pay with cash when the credit card machine is down. He was in Landshark.
In the Israeli government. And did you know this? He actually went to high school in New Jersey. He worked in furniture here in America. He went to MIT here in America.
And?
But he also served in the Israeli military. I mean, this man is Israeli through and through.
Great. All right. So Israelis, congrats on having an Israeli leader.
And you know, there are nearly 200 hostages being held by Hamas, including women and children.
Right. While that guy is leader. So this guy, super smart, did all these things, greatest leader, man for a time. On his watch, Hamas has 200 men, women, and children, elderly, some Holocaust survivors that they have taken as hostages that they're going to use to barter for the release of Hamas war criminals. And they slaughtered all these people on his watch while he was prime minister. But he's the best. Meanwhile, our dude is out to lunch, and so far we haven't had these kind of lone wolf attacks from people, these terrorists crossing the southern border, all that kind of shit we've heard about. Nah, nothing so far.
In Gaza right now, and saving hostages is literally in this man's blood.
What? Why? Because he's let so many Jews become hostages over the years?
Who remembers back in the 1970s, the raid on Entebbe? Now, it started with a hijacking, 1976, an Air France flight from Israel to France.
Oh, dear.
Flown first to Greece, then Libya, and then Entebbe, Uganda, where, I mean, Idi Amin Dada, remember that crazy guy? He was about to grant the Palestinian terrorists full kind of asylum and maybe throw all of the Jewish prisoners in jail. But the Israeli military rescued nearly all of the hostages. Take a look.
There were funerals in both Israel and Uganda today. The result
Yeah, it's in his blood.
of Israel's weekend raid to rescue more than 100 hostages from pro-Palestinian hijackers at Entebbe Airport in Uganda. But there were other results, too, from the rescue operation, which has been hailed as audacious and as a blow to terrorists around the world.
The Israeli...
Not by the families of the hostages that died, who I suppose if they were all put in prison, you could have negotiated for their release from that prison instead of written. Never mind.
Military flew C-130 cargo planes all the way to Uganda, dangerous refueling stops along the way. They painted the aircraft in the colors of the Ugandan Air Force, and they also had a special car with Ugandan flags on the front to fake out the Ugandan soldiers who were used to guard the...
Hold off, Hal. That was actual hero stuff. That's not my question, Blob. I'm more making fun of how he's talking about it, not the actual situation.
Hostages. It was a huge victory for Israel, and American media reports from that time continue.
Yeah, and there's Netanyahu all by himself. He's right. Where the fuck is he? Netanyahu. See all these people involved? There's Netanyahu. Where is he? He's in here. It's in his blood. He's got to be at one point. Forget all these people. That lady. Netanyahu's in. Is that? Yeah.
Israel is keeping some of the details secret, but it's known that 3 American-made transports flew 2,500 miles to Uganda, carrying Israeli commandos armed and ready for combat. In 36 minutes, they killed 7 hijackers and 20 Ugandan soldiers, reportedly also destroying MiG fighters of the Ugandan Air Force. Then they helped the hostages to the waiting planes and took off for Nairobi in Kenya.
So it was an amazing success, but it wasn't perfect. Yeah.
Right. As those things aren't. But, that's not important. Right now what we're doing is basically turning Benjamin Netanyahu into a hero by himself.
Yes, they lost hostages, the 3 on the left, passengers on that plane, and the man on the right. He was 33-year-old Yonatan Netanyahu, the commander of the military
Oh, I see. That's why it's in his blood, because that guy died.
operation. And yep, he was Bibi's older brother.
What the fuck does that have to do with Netanyahu's ability to negotiate the situation because his fucking brother died doing something heroic? Fuck does that have to do with him?
What an amazing family, right?
What? No. What an amazing guy. How about that? How about that Yonatan himself? Amazing. What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, I don't hear you cutting it like Hunter Biden any slack because of Beau Biden being a veteran.
I've always been fascinated by this mission. And
you're very weird.
And that happened. So, Benjamin.
And you're so fascinated that you want to give credit to people who weren't even there, who had nothing to do with it.
Netanyahu, we should have a lot of confidence in him.
Why? Because his brother died doing something good?
And also, he's just a common sense guy. When it comes to weapon systems and Ukraine.
And corruption?
If only Joe Biden did something like this.
We are also helping Ukraine. We're helping them in civilian defense, an civilian alert system that will obviate the need to get half the country in shelters for every missile fired. So we're helping them with that. I think it's important to understand that.
So are we. What the fuck? All right, this is where we find out that Greg Kelly has no idea what support and how support money is being spent in terms of Ukraine at all.
We're concerned also with the possibility that systems that we would give to Ukraine would fall into Iranian hands and could be reverse engineered, and we would find ourselves facing Israeli systems used against Israel.
That is smart. That is common sense. And the Biden administration doesn't seem to be worried about that one bit. The State Department.
That's because most of the stuff they're giving them are fucking guns and things. And they can't get their hands on our satellites.
Department is worried. They're writing memos saying this stuff is going to fall into the hands of the black market.
Into the hands of the black market. That's the scary part, the word black.
Bibi is on top of it. Our government is not.
Yes, we are. I don't know what the fuck he's talking
and
about.
There's something else I saw from him once on the news. You're
getting a boner, aren't you, Greg?
A lot of folks, let's face it, we don't stay up on the Middle East.
He means him.
It's a little bit confusing, but he made
So are bus schedules for you, Greg.
this point. I think he was on like CNN in 1990, and he had a
Yeah, so whatever he was saying was fake news, obviously. He was on CNN, for God's sake.
big map of the Middle East, kind of like that, kind of like this, okay?
Jesus Christ. We know what it looks like, fuckwad. It's not kinda. That's the actual one. Also, what? What? Why do you have a whiteboard with that attached to it? All right, never mind. I don't even know what the fuck this is. Did they give him playthings?
And he said, the Arab world.
That is a whiteboard from Office Depot. That's one of those mini whiteboards, and they just stuck that same map graphic to it. Greg, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you holding up? Did you make something in crafts today?
I'm going to actually cover my hand with the Arab
Oh my God.
world, right? This is the Arab world. All of
Stop. Stop it. Quit that. He's playing peekaboo with the Arab world. What are you doing? What is this? This is real. This is actually happening on this fucking show. What the ever-loving shit is going on? He made somebody make that. Look at him trying to see on the camera, like holding it up under his fucking nose, where he's like, can they see the part where this, where is the, oh, the shark bites with his teeth there, and it keeps them pearly white. Oh, the shark bites. Jaws 3. All right. Schoolhouse Greg. Oh my God, this is fucking embarrassing. Can we just leave this here? This is if anything sums up Greg Kelly tonight and every fucking night. Oh, so this is great. This is Glenn Beck, eat your fucking heart out. This is you might have a giant dipshit chalkboard, but nobody misuses a whiteboard better than Greg Kelly. I don't know what the fuck that is. That's amazing. That's I love it. You're watching Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. Like, subscribe, support the show, give us a thumbs up. Help us spread, if you know what I'm saying, and you know how I mean that, and I think you do.